A while, Rukmini ji. How are you? How have you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you.
I missed the last two of your sessions.
Yes. Have you seen this? I don't think you've played Padavali before. I mean, with on Zoom.
I not when you were online, but I tried several of them.
Mm-hmm. You did? How was
It's
it?
fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm glad.
Took me a while though.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been
Yeah, this last one took me about 25 minutes. The Jagannath Yatra.
really okay.
Yeah.
In the course of this live stream at 8:20 p.m. in another 20 minutes here in this time, the next one will go live. So we have been, thinking of how to make it more engaging. I mean, we have this player statistics on how many people started, how many people went all the way, how many people abandoned the game, what is the average playing time, all of these statistics we have, so that we have a little bit of a gauge on how each puzzle is doing. So so this next one, hopefully we'll have it, with enough difficulty and enough fun. It's a tricky mix to get right. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy this next one. We'll have a quick glimpse. We'll play this. We'll discuss the words now in this session. But you did finish it, right? You got all of them.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. It was all new to me, so I had to Google a lot of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with all the yatra names and stuff. But it's a good way to get engaged with all that information. Yeah. Yeah.
How about now? Is there double audio? Is it okay now? Check.
Yeah, it's fine for me on Zoom.
Yeah, on Zoom it is, the settings are all good. On YouTube it should be good now. Yes, audible. I hope there is no echo and such. Looks like it's clear. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. So, you know what is, I mean, connected to this theme, Jagannatha Swami and Ratayatra, you guys know what tomorrow is, especially those if you are from Odisha. It's a significant day tomorrow. Ratayatra, of course, happens on one day, but it's a whole process. It starts much before with a ritual, snana, Ekadashi. Ekadashi is coming up, yes, but tomorrow specifically related to Rathayatra is the return yatra. So the Rathas started from the main temple towards Gundicha temple, and apparently these three siblings, Balabhadra, Subhadra and Jagannatha, they stay there for 7 days. And on the 8th day, they return back to the main temple. And these are Utsava Murtis, of course. These are idols which are taken on a procession. But these are the main temples, main idols inside the Garbhagriha. These are the main Mula Murtis. There are no separate Vigrahas for the procession deities, which was all very fascinating. It's a mysterious temple, one of the most mysterious temples of our country. Many mysterious temples like that, but from the very iconography of the three deities, it's all, and the Brahma Padartha and the Nila Madhava. There are many other words that could have come here, but I didn't put Brahma Padartha, Nila Madhava and all that, Indradyumna. There are many stories. I guess many of you know there are ample YouTube videos about different kinds of, I wouldn't call it conspiracy theories, but people do add in a lot of masala, as we are prone to. people of Bharat, when retelling these stories. Yes, Ulto Ratayatra. Yes, in Bangla it is called Ulto Ratayatra, apparently Ratayatra. And in Sanskritam it is Bahuda Yatra. I haven't put Bahuda Yatra also here. But of course, Ratha Yatra could be the first word. On the top left, I'm making sure that there is one easily findable word. And then right here, there is Subhadra. I'm sure this was also found very easily. One thing that might not have been very easy to found is Darpa Dala. I made sure in the next puzzle that is going to be live as we do this live stream, there are fewer not unknown words, fewer completely new words like Darpa Dala. The idea here is these three chariots that these three siblings are going on have names of their own. We know in our Puranas, everything, even weapons, astras, conch shells that they blow for battle, all of them have their own names. For example, Krishna's conch shell was Panchajanya, and all the Pandavas have their own. Devadattam Dhananjaya, Arjuna's was Devadatta, Poundram Dadbha Mahashankam, Bhima's was Poundra. Like that, they all have different names for their equipments. Arjuna's bow is Gandiva. The three chariots are not normal chariots, they are celestial chariots as they call them, and they all have their own names. The chariot on which, the Ratha on which Subhadra moves is Darpa Dala, which is the vanquisher of Darpa, which is pride or insolence or, vanity, vain pride, Darpa. There are many words like that, Dambha, Darpa, Bhimana. Darpa is one of those vain pride. So Dalana is that which puts it down, that which quells pride is Darpa Dalana. And if you look at this right here, you will find Jagannatha, which is another word right here in the puzzle, simple enough. And here what we are left with, these four cells, is one word. And like I said before, it's not like you need to know these words beforehand in your memory. You can kind of derive these words by seeing if they make possible words. For example, Ghosha is a word that sounds like a word. Nandi Ghosha. You'll see Shaha Gho Di Nam wouldn't make a valid word. So Nandi Ghosha is a valid word. Nandi Ghosha is the name of Jagannatha's chariot. Ghosha is a sound, and Nandi can be seen as the Nandi, Shiva's Vahana. The what is the word for it? Not trumpeting. It's not all moving also. It's the roar, we can say, of a bull, Nandi Ghosha. Or Nanda also means that which is joyful. A joyful roar, uproar can also be Nandi Ghosha. And there is Netrotsavaha right here. I don't know if you found this. Why am I solving it? I'll ask you guys the next word. Netrotsavaha, of course, because the opening of the eyes of these deities when they are painted fresh, it's called Netra, which means the eyes, and Utsava, which is a festival of the eyes. And the iconography also, we are all aware that they have, of course, the pupils and the sclera, the white part of the eye. They have the eyebrows, but they don't have eyelids or eyelashes. Eyelids are the mechanism through which we close the eyes, but there is no closing of the eyes. The three deities are constantly aware, constantly vigilant, and are taking care of their devotees and have their gaze falling on their devotees wide and far. That is how they have their big eyes. And they are also associated with the coastal community of Odisha. The temple is, of course, facing east towards Bay of Bengal. So their gaze reaches far and wide through the horizon of where the ocean meets the sky. So until the horizon, their eyesight falls, is the whole symbolism and meaning there. So Netrotsavaha. Any other word that you find here?
I found Taladhvaja.
Correct.
Talad.
Yes, Taladhvaja. Correct. And we finished two names of two chariots. This Taladhvaja is the final one. no prizes for guessing whose chariot it is, because Balabhadra is the only one left. Balabhadra is right here. Dhwaja means a flag or flag post. Tala is it can be seen as a palm tree, or different kinds of trees. There are many stories on what kind of wood, what kind of trees, what kind of flags, what color flags. The differing stories. But yes, Taladhwajaha is the name of Balabhadra's chariot. And why a tree? Because his weapon is also a plough. He is known as, he's very famous for being of great strength. His name itself, Balabhadraha, is the one who is of immense strength. And also he is carries that plough, signifying that he is associated with agriculture and tilling the land and fertility. So all of those symbolisms there. And the final word here is Neelachala.
Neelachala.
Wonderful, Neelachala, which is the blue mountains. There are not really blue mountains, especially around the temple or in Puri, but they say the abode itself, the temple itself, because it is the abode of Lord Krishna, and extrapolating it to Vishnu himself, is on top. The whole kshetra is like a mountain of its own. So Neelachala there. In many compositions we see Neela Shikhara, Mahambodhe Stire, Neela Shikhare, Subhadra Madhyastha. Like this, there are many compositions describing Jagannatha. So overall, I think 9 words. And anything else? So if you have any questions about this, we can look at it. I know there are, if you have specific questions about the Brahma Padartha, and I know there are a lot of mysteries about so many different things, about the Yatra itself, about the Gundicha temple. We all know, most of you probably, the story of Vishwakarma coming to a king's palace to make the idol of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu in the form of Krishna. But he asked time of 21 days, but after 15 days there were no sounds from his chambers. So everybody got curious, especially the queen thought he might need some nourishment food. So when they opened the doors to his chambers, to Vishwakarma's chambers, they broke that agreement that he'll get his privacy to do his artwork in peace, and Vishwakarma disappeared, leaving the idols like that. But then this is one beautiful fable, but there is also the symbolism. Like I said before, the eyes not having eyelids is not because it is incomplete, but the symbolism says that the Lord does not blink. There is not even a single moment's time when his gaze is not upon his devotees. And Adi Shankara composed a beautiful hymn on this particular kshetra and this particular deity, which goes, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. It's a beautiful line, and of course a very, very powerful chant. May for me Bhavatu, may he be. May who be? Jagannatha Swami. May Lord Jagannatha be for me. What may he be? Now this is a beautiful play of words. May he be Nayana Pathagami. These 3 words.
Is this Margdarshak?
Correct. The most direct interpretation and the meaning of the word is Margdarshak, like Nidhiji said, which is may he show, may he light my path forward. What does a Margdarshak do? He is a guide who takes us forward on a path. Nayana Pathagami. But the 3 words, because they are a samasa, they are joined like that, the relationship between these 3 words their interpretation can be expanded. For example, you can add filler words like with or through or by or for. When there are 2 words that come together, that missing word there is some freedom to change that in interpretation. What I mean by that is, Like Nidhiji said, Nayana Patha Gami. Patha, no doubt there. Path. English word also has the same sound. Patha is path. Gamanam or gam is a dhatu for movement. Moving, path, and eyes. These are the three words that came together. So, whose eyes, whose path, and who is moving? These three things is left to interpretation. If it were to be interpreted just as marg nirdeshak, jo marg pradata hai, a guide, the path is mine, I am moving, and he is moving ahead of me, and the path, the nayana is mine. The path upon which my eyes fall, anything that I desire to pursue, I look at and I want to go in this direction and I pursue on that path, and may that Jagannatha be the one who takes me on that path. Simple, straight enough. Everybody is on the same page. Now, the Nayana in this interpretation is mine, of course. But Pathagami can also be seen as the one who leads us on a path. Through what? Through his eyes. Nayana Pathagami can also be interpreted like that. Because of course his most prominent feature is the expanse of his eyes and the unblinking nature of his eyes. Through his eyes, may he be my Pathagami. Second interpretation, valid enough? Is everybody on the same page or any debates or discussions there? So whatever path, first interpretation is whatever path my eyes fall upon, may he lead me in that, along that path. Second one, in the path that I take, may he lead me through his own vision, through his eyes. Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. Another interpretation is the path and the eyes are my own. Whatever path my eyes fall upon, may he go in that direction. Going is his. In the previous two, the going was mine. He was leading me. For whatever path my eyes fall upon, may he go along that path. And if he goes, we know how he goes in his huge chariot, which is enormously heavy and which is unstoppable, which is... and the English people themselves, for their own reasons, named something unstoppable a juggernaut, Jagannatha. So his unstopping, unmoving, like obstructed, like momentum, may he give me that momentum and may that movement be his. May he move on my Nayana Patha. These are three different interpretations that are possible. Maybe there are more that are lurking, because this kind of interpretations are possible as to whose Nayana they are, whose path it is, and who is moving, because these three words are joined in and made into a single word. So the words that connect these three words are up to our imagination. Of his, through him, by him, of me, for me, all of this interpretations are open. So it's a beautiful, but if you instead of intellectually looking at it and expanding that samasa and thinking, is it karmadharaya or bahuvrihi, if you go into the technical aspects of it, how you expand that samasa, through which of this relating words between them, is the whole grammatical aspects of samasa, which is karmadharaya, bahuvrihi, tatpurusha. There are different kinds of expansions of joined together words. So we might explore that later on, but when words are joined like this, how you expand them, there is some freedom of interpretation. But all that intellectual interpretation aside, if you really meditate upon this, Nayana, Patha, Gami, these three sounds in themselves, all of them kind of mean the same thing, that there is movement, there is a path, and there are his eyes or my eyes. And this tradition has been such that we don't see God as somebody who judges and sits above and is, separate from us, but he goes through the same kind of things. Look at this. They have, like we go shed our body and take on a new body, God himself is shedding his body and taking on a new body. Every 8, 12 or 19 years, they replace the Mula Virat itself, the main deity, main Vigraha itself, with that understanding that the old is discarded and there is new that is born again. Even for the divine itself. So whatever rules we are bound by, the divine is also subject to the same laws of creation. So it's a wonderful tradition like that. So what happened to the Ratha after every Ratayatra? Can we reuse it next year? I heard that it's done fresh every year. I haven't seen the Ratayatra. I have been to Puri once. I haven't seen the Ratha, I think, live or been or attended the Ratayatra live. But what I've heard is they remake this every year. What I kind of, in my own head, my own, not conspiracy theory, like I said, others were doing, but my own understanding was because it is a coastal place, the whole state is coastal, and Puri, of course, is towards the coast. So this wood, I think, is something that is considered very sacred, and later on, because these are all coastal people, they could be using in their ship constructions, vessels, and so on. So I think that traditionally that's what must have been happening with the wood that is used in the Rathas. But what do they do now? I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I felt like must be happening to the Rathas. All right. Now, one thing was, if there are any more questions, we can discuss this. But why I kind of went on that, a little bit of an extempore, was because it is 8:20 p.m. now here in Bharat. So if you saw, next puzzle is in 8 minutes. Every time you finish one puzzle, it will tell you when the next puzzle is loading up. Ideally, I want to increase the number of people who are playing this game simultaneously every day. And right now, every week there is a fresh puzzle. But eventually, if this builds traction, once we get the mix of difficulty versus fun aspect of this puzzle and its words right, we want to maybe make this a new puzzle every day kind of situation. So it's 8:20 p.m. If you refresh it, you see there is a new puzzle. It is not Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. It is Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. There is an extra hint here. If you click on this eye, you'll get an extra hint. And if you click on it, you'll see different words that you can find from here. I know some of you might already know what this is. Some of you might need some time. Maybe Google it, what this Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro is. And you will see, you'll get hints from there, and maybe based on these hints, you can find words here in this puzzle. I hope you have fun solving this. Please solve it for yourself. Share it with your friends. I hope they have fun doing it, and share that feedback with us. We, of course, have this back-end statistics which tell us how many people have played, how many started, how many gave up, how long, what is the average play duration, etc. But it's very promising. People from across the world are enjoying it. Last two puzzles, I got a little bit carried away. I'm also having a lot of fun, so I got a little difficult words inside it. But this time, the words are simpler. They are much more meaningful. Everything has been meaningful so far, but they are much more useful also in daily lives. So I hope you enjoy this. And this is, of course, yes, themed after Devashayini Ekadashi. Ashadha Ekadashi is coming up. Wish you all very, very auspicious Chaturmasya for those who are following it. Like I said, the period of festivals is coming up. This month itself is considered extremely sacred. for sadhana, and the whole 6-month duration is also sacred for sadhana. So make use of this period. If there are any other questions pertaining to the previous puzzle, whatever puzzles have already been public, you can play the main one, this week's theme here, current week's puzzle, but you can access the previous week's puzzles also. You can play all of them also here. It will take some time for this Jagannatha Swami to be also shown here, but we want to, give our audience, give the players the facility to play previous puzzles as well. It's not like once you play a puzzle, you can't play that again. You can have the very first puzzle, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, you can play that. And if anybody, even new people who come to know of it at a later time, they'll be able to play previous puzzles too. So, and we will discuss the words of this puzzle in the next week's Playalong live stream. Meanwhile, we have some very interesting course content also coming up. A lot of you have asked for Shri Vidya related content and Vedic chants. So we will come up with those videos. We are working on them currently. So yes, that is for this week. Their eyes remind us of fish eyes which never get closed. Yes, fish's eyes also, they say, in Saundarya Lahari especially, there are a lot of description and similes that are drawn to the eyes of a fish. All right. Nandini ji, intuitively I solved all of them. Wonderful, I'm glad. Kindly teach Brahmi language also if you can. Brahmi is a script. I don't know Brahmi is a language, if there is a different set of vocabulary and such for Brahmi. No, I don't think so. Brahmi is a script. That's how it is written. I think I saw a couple of videos and courses online for free where they teach how to write Sanskritam, Sanskrita Bhasha, the vocabulary of Sanskrit and the sentences of Sanskrit are written in Brahmi script. Also, just as a reminder for those who do not know, you can play this in any other language. You could play this in Odia as well, or let me show this also. You can play it in Kannada, you can play it in all these languages, Gurmukhi, and so on. You can play it in almost 10 different scripts. Malayalam also you can play. On big screens, Malayalam is renders well. Malayalam and Tamil, owing to their longer structures to accommodate Alpapranas, Mahapranas and so on, kind of format goes off, but otherwise the other ones are all neatly rendered in grids. Come with Veda on how to start off self-study. Yes, self-study of Veda is extremely tricky because once you dig into wrong foundations, they become hard to correct later on. So and it is extremely important, that is why it's a Guru Shishya Parampara, that the Guru constantly listens to what the Shishya is chanting and is able to correct it right there before that bad practice settles in. But we have some tools and techniques on how somebody can do it and check that for themselves and start slow, start with the simplest of lines, then start with the 4 most important lines, and then with a simple mantra, and then go to a small sukta, and we'll do that for sure. All right, we'll close the YouTube stream right now, and we'll continue with generic discussion of everything under the sun on our Zoom call. So all the members, whoever has access, the level 3 and above, to YouTube live streams, you can join us there. Sorry, on the Zoom call, on a separate Zoom call. We'll continue on Zoom. Thank you so much for joining the YouTube stream. See you in the next week's Padavali-4, which is themed around Devashayini Ekadashi, for the theme for which is Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. Extra hint is here if you need it. Right. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. Shubharatrihi. Punarmilamaha. Namo Namaha.